Hitesh, how do you look at the developments in the Supreme Court today and the argument which was made, by the Attorney General, saying that people do not need to know who is donating to political parties? They need to know about the candidates, but why do they need to know who's donating? How would you defend that statement?
Nowadays, what is happening is Prashant Bhushan, by his habit, has a tendency to exaggerate and misrepresent and does not present the complete fact. I don't know whether he pointed out or whether we are all aware, there is a reform that was taken out by Mr. Pranav Mukherjee when he was the finance minister in UPA 2. And what was that reform? A donor could donate to a registered electoral trust, which in turn would donate to a political party. The disclosure will be only the name of the electoral trust, and the link between the identity of donor and the party would never be known. This practice, which was legislated by UPA 2, is still in progress, and it is also continuing to be in process. People are using this method also. So, what Mr. Prashant Bhushan is talking is completely, that is the reason he is exaggerating. Now, the example which I gave you, if people have to follow the process of UPA 2 reform, where you make a donation to the electoral trust, and the electoral trust will make the donation to the party, so the identity of donor is not known, and this provision is not being challenged, and they are in agreement with this view. So this clearly exposes the dichotomy and double standard.
Okay, let Prashant Bhushan respond to that. There was already a process in place earlier which obfuscated the source of donations, is the charge that Hitesh Jain is making. Mr. Bhushan.
Well, I'm not totally certain as to whether the details of those or the names or the identities of those who donate to electoral trusts and through them to political parties is eventually not known, because this issue, as far as I am aware, was not raised by the Election Commission earlier. But if that is the case, then we will certainly challenge that also, because certainly there cannot be any and there should not be any anonymity whatsoever about the donors and the identities of the donors who are donating to political parties. In fact, when this demonetization was done, the Prime Minister claimed that it is being done to make a cashless economy or a less cash economy. We have been saying that, well, you can't expect ordinary people to transact their whole business without cash, but you can certainly expect political parties and candidates contesting elections to do so. Therefore, why don't you make a law which says that no political party or candidate will spend cash, will take or spend cash, and will have to transact all his business through banking channels. This will eliminate this scourge of cash and black money which we are seeing today, or to a substantial extent control that. But unfortunately that was not done, and instead 3 retrograde amendments were brought in order to eliminate the ceiling on donations which companies can give to political parties.
Also the point, Hitesh Jain,
remove the
also the point, Hitesh Jain, that if what is already there is incorrect and equally, non-transparent, doesn't mean that condones the problems with electoral bonds. So if you could answer specifically on electoral bonds.
Well, I am answering because the whole question they are talking about the masking the identity of the donor. Frankly speaking, one example I gave and Prashant Bhushan stands exposed. It is not a question of hiding electoral bonds or the example which I gave you about giving the money to the trust. What is this principle based upon?
Do you agree? Hitesh, do you agree? No. I'm asking you, do you agree in principle? Should voters know? No. That is why I've called you. Hitesh, I've called you to hear your view. I've called you to hear your view. Yeah, let me make the question specific. One sec, you complete and say as much as you want. Just let me make the question specific. Do you in principle agree that those who donate to political parties should have the right to be anonymous? That's the specific question.
Well, yes, and this is a part of the reform, and the very fact with the likes of Mr. Bhushan, who files PIL at the drop of every hat. For 8 years he has not filed the PIL. He is also in agreement with the amendment. Now that when I am telling him about this amendment, he is finding, I don't know about such provision. Now, when you come to the Supreme Court, when you claim yourself as a learned counsel, you should know the prevailing law, you should know the prevailing system, you should not exaggerate, you should not misrepresent, you should give the complete fact. The fact
this
is
was
on the
not even
marking
an
of
argument
identity.
of the Attorney
Certainly
General on behalf of the government.
Okay.
The
What you are
amendment which I
saying just
told,
now
the example
not
which
even
I
the
gave
argument
has
of the
not been
government.
challenged by Mr. Bhushan. He is not challenged, and the fact I am in complete agreement with the masking of identity of donor, because it prevents victimization, and second thing is, at the end of the day, electoral bond is also a process where a clean, legitimate white money is coming in the system.